is up, everybody? Hoping you had a spooktacular Halloween holiday. And what is going on? Take 5. Oh, it's only half a take 5. It looks like we got a fun size today.
Take 2.5.
Woo! And we got Tommy here, and we got Austin, and we got special guest Bruce.
What up, Bruce?
Bruce Almighty here to take on the challenge and be undefeated till this day. Well, except once.
Leader of the league, too. Right. Dude, Bruce, how does it feel before we get into it?
Guys? I'm taking it 1 week at a time, man. I mean, it feels all right, but got a long way to go. We're only just a little bit half done, so job's not done.
6 games. 6 games left, and it feels all right. All right, boys and girls, we will get right into the fastest 2 minutes, except we got a double dose of action for you today, starting with recap with Week 7 on the docket. Bruce, take it off.
All right, we got the Corn Shuckers versus Danky Punch. Imagine this. Two guys celebrating a few of their friends' 21st birthday. They're good guys. They're going to take them to the casino. One guy's friends are all having a good time, winning, losing, but, having fun. Realize the birthday guys aren't even there. Justin and Josh, I guess, didn't get the invite to their own party. Only DeAndre, Miles, and Colt showed up. The guys' friends had a great time. No one had significant injuries, and everyone showed up, including Daredevil Daniel, Liable Cordero, and Big Tom. Some good times at the casino, but without the birthday friends at their own party, Corn Shuckers have a better time and come out on top. Team Danky Punch, 92-80. Whoop!
Whoop! Whoop, whoop!
Whoop, whoop!
Whoop. Breaking into the next game, we had the Jamaican Shamans. Forgot to pray to the god Chief Green Cloud, and it sure did show. Well, it's always runny in Philadelphia, especially when you rent a car from Hertz. Jalen Hurts, that is. Because A.J. Brown took a dump in the back seat, and damn does it smell. The good kind, though. Only redeeming part of the ride was when Teddy Roosevelt got the girls out to show them teddies. Whoop! Whoop, whoop! This bitchin' Kamara was driving down the block by that kid from the Omen. I was like, no! Whoop! Get me out of here! So beep, beep, honk, honk. Insert David Carr reference. Austin grabs Uncle Tommy's stash and runs out to a lead, 137 to 108.
Oh, dear Lord. What an interesting. Well, let's move on to an ever-loading bear layer known as James of Z. But however, will he make it up? Will this be the day where he finally turns it around by defeating the undefeatable only once? Well, let's take a look at it through this little acting here. With the 7th and 14th games about to begin, social propaganda knew that this may be his last chance to convince someone that his cause was just. There was only one problem. Bruce was already indoctrinated into the cult of taking no bullshit. Castle Tagovania led his influencers into a tight corner with Disarray Hopkins hopping into the dark lair of Count Bruce. Jaime's wins in pain steps forward to the castle corridors after losing his 2 comrades, only to confront 3 dark creatures of the night. Malachi Ryan, Rob Haunted Wood, and Incarcerated Wentz. The 3 placed a curse onto Jaime's before the damage was already done. The propagandist castle siege was a failure and left its noble cause to ruin with a small sliver of hope.
What? What?
What?
Jeffrey finally went for a nice walk in Week 7, while Dearness Hemingway read him a nice tale. However, he ended up walking right into Mike Evans' gate, where he was greeted by Devontae's Inferno and Donkey Kong Metcalf. Sam Candy Corn, gross, Darnold put up a whole 2 points while Teddy was yelling, "Keep your hands off my Heineke." Big Old TD's 141. Power Walker 121.
Wow, A+.
Hands off my Heineke. I don't remember that one.
Don't visit Booper Cup's house because he is not a friendly ghost. Nor was Matt's staph infection because he couldn't be cured. Motherfucker, even with an ointment. Ain't that a motherfucker? That ooze and pus bag. And who the fuck brought this fun-sized motherfucking peeps onto Lamar Samuel L. Jackson's plane? Bitch. What? What? Joe Gravedigger Burrow was making sure that Michael Myers Davis was sleeping with the fishes. Didn't help that Kyler Cursed Murray tried to ask Chris, my Godwin, for directions for the last house on the left. Ah! And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming. At the lamplight of his streaming throws his shadows on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that flies floating in Baltimore shall be lifted. Start the ravens? Nevermore!
Whoop, whoop!
Uncle Jay beats Elliot 139 to 120. Whoop!
Whoop!
Po.
Whoop, whoop!
Folks, this season, it's looking like Terminator, Rise of the Machines. Jamar chased Mac Jones, the love child of Sarah Connor and the Tampa Bay defense, through the metallic battlefield into a resounding victory. I'll be back, says Jack. Speaking of machines, Gridiron is looking a bit grid rusty. Michael Pittman? More like Armpit Man. Marquise Brown? More like Marquise Frown. Ryan Tannehill? More like Ryan Not the Manaville. A valiant effort to no avail. Gridiron 86, Machines 126.
The Arizona Cardinals. It's good to have you back for week 8's fastest 2 minutes. You fantasy football hungry humans. I'm calling the shots. The story is who let the dogs out. Our story begins in the salty brine that laps the shores of Tampa Bay, where Tom Sferratu Brady was sucking the life out of some very holy saints, while Darrell Henderson, Vampire Slayer, hunted for another Van Helsing. Meanwhile, up in the great white of Minneapolis, Adam, serial bedwetter, Thielen, just got away with another one. But Zeke Elliott was dragged to hell. Well, it was Frankenstein's right-hand man, Joe, was caught mixing body parts up again. Tragedy. A violently torn hamstring or a violently turned scoreline. Nope, it was Austin, Texas Chainsaw Massacre who struck again. No one saw it coming. In fact, Robert Sleepaway Camp Woods stepped out of hiding, naked, screaming, and holding a knife. What? Monster Mash song? Woo!
Whoop!
We did the mash! I was working in ATL late one night when my eyes beheld a Ridley flight, for my falcon from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, his name was Mash! His name was Monster Mash! The Monster Mash! I'm talking about Monster Mash Ryan! He got there in a flash! With Corradell and his son! Freddy Bruce Cougar catches little Tommy sleeping 141 to 135.
Bruce, you have to wear a fedora and a shitty sweater when you get the chance.
On the strip of Montego Bay, the shamans were burning Bridgewaters. 3 little birds named Payday Brown, Najee Chairlift, and Safari Cooper were pitched by the doorstep. Everything is not Irie in Danky Land. After a few miles of Gaskin Blue swiftly leaving the team, Eaton Goddard. I don't think anyone's singing Don't Worry because everything is not going to be all right. Danky Punch 90, Jamaican Shamans 144.
Oof. Oof. Kill.
Whoop!
War is occurring. On one side, there's a large colony that hails from space but doesn't have any commanders. On the other, not as many fighters, but some big old weapons with 2 commanders at the helm. In the war, everyone plays their role and works together. Owen and Damien do their thing with some help from 2 Davantes. Melvin and DK get Brandon and Trevor to sway the war heavily in their favor. But then, just before the colony is ready to give up, a previous commander of the colony, Dak, appears and gives CD a secret weapon. It's Mr. Rush, making his debut as a commander, orders Michael and CD to not give up. And they never stop until all of the big old weapons are destroyed. Final Space Colony 133, big old TDs 115.
Big ol' TDs?
Big old TDs are no match for the ultimate weapons of the Space Colony 21.
Whoa! Space Colony 21?
Space Colony 22?
Space Colony 23, we'd have to begin the true redemption arc that is social propaganda. After his aforementioned failed crusade, social propaganda and their fearless leader, James of Z, returning to their secret base of operations deep in the jungles of Cambodia. What they didn't expect was that the goonish raiders were out for blood. But the pretense of terror had no effect on the master of propaganda. Double Aaron and Tyler Lock-On combined their powers of sheer will and busted fingernails to block the upcoming assaults from the Breakfast Club, aka Matthew Stafflord, and Cooper Coop. It was clear that their true target was the cursed Jaimes Winston, who was already taking cover behind Castle Tagovania. Jonathan Taylor Swift was about to stitch Winston a new butthole until kickerman Nick Folk jumped out of the Castle Tagovania just in time to unlock his hidden rook powers to sidewind the Seamer. Even with social propaganda getting his first true victory of the season, came at a cost. The machines were hell-bent on cannibalization of quarterback this weekend, and Goon Squad was only a diversion. After the fog of war had been lifted, the lifeless corpse of Jaimes Winston was found and properly buried. Our scene closes with Kevin White laughing maniacally.
Oh my god, he's scaring us.
James's first victory after half the season. But at what cost?
That was 10.
Well,
I hoped you enjoyed that scintillating, bone-tingling tale. Now I bring you to this. Aaron, aspiring game show host Rogers, thought he finally had a show lined up. That is, until Sam damned Donald showed up and gave him the heebie-jeebies, Higgins. And no, nobody cares what you did last summer, Emmanuel Hookhand Sanders. And no, nobody cares what you did last summer, Emmanuel Hookhand Sanders. And it was Michael Bury Him in a Pit Man who screamed, "Oh my God, they killed Kenny!" Then a shriek was heard by the courtroom. Tyreek! Kill! Kill! Tyreek! Kill! Just before 2 shots rang out. Luckily, they were just corks. That said, we all thought it was wise to act fast. Leave immediately and never come back to the house on haunted Tannehill. Cut immediately, especially with Dalvin, how to cook humans, eyeing us like that from the 3rd floor balcony. Yikes! Ew. And Stephanie and Kyle take the win in their debut match since taking over for Uncle Jimmy, 122 to Jeffrey's 68. Woof.
68?
Ooh, oh, woo.
60.
The Power Walkers. More like
Ow, ow,
Power
ow.
Cripples.
More like they need a walker, am I right? Jeez.
Yeah, am I right?
Am I right? Oh, speaking of am I right, Elliot put down Bumble for a weekend and went to a Halloween party, hoping not to get machine shop blocked by Jake. With his boys Chris, Never Got a Brisk Godwin, Joe, I Love Me a Ho Burrows, and Debo, Big D Boy, Samuel, the party ended with multiple scoregasms. The Machines, meanwhile, started Patrick Mahomes, so they were bound to lose because he's too busy being in insurance commercials. Scoregasms 106, Machines 87.
Boom.
Boom. Whoop. Whoop.
All right. Well,
Oh,
wraps
happy
up.
Halloween.
Brains.
The fastest 2 minutes, Austin's was like 5 minutes on its own.
That was great, boys.
It was a Bond villain monologue.
Oh my god, that's half the show.
That is
was
half,
James-
Joe.
it was
I mean,
James'
that's our like most exciting segment.
We'll see you next week, folks. Da, 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 da.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tommy. Danny's discounts is by far the most
Danny's
exciting
discounts is my favorite.
That was a great segment. Bruce, what's your favorite segment so far?
Do you have any discounts this week?
No, I mean,
Okay.
you can only do it every 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like actually the fastest 2 minutes. I mean, it's really cool to see all the stories and people like the things you guys come up with, which is awesome.
This one was a little spooky, but we've had some funny ones.
It was a
Oh, the
blast.
spook
I
was
mean,
good.
this one's still funny. I'm just saying. The other ones are
I like James'
they're less
segment.
scary. They're less scary.
Yeah, that's true. I was very scared during this one. I couldn't pay attention to the players because I was shaking in my boots.
I got really into Austin's movie.
Hey, I think it's a good redemption arc for James. I think he deserved this win.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yep.
Austin.
I think
Unfortunately,
so,
at a
too.
cost of Winston.
Absolutely. Dude,
Winston
I-
man just
I almost got Bruce.
Almost got
Almost got
you were right
Man,
there.
one touchdown
Woods
away.
if Woods didn't have that rushing touchdown, he would have
Yeah.
won.
That was crazy
That's
too.
like
Actually, why don't I pull that up?
an anomaly.
Let's
Like
talk about that.
that'll never happen this season again.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Wait,
'cause that was a
which
big
touchdown?
Moment that ended on Monday
He
night.
had a rushing touchdown. Robert Woods
Oh my
Robert Woods.
god.
and
Robert Woods
Yeah,
had a
dude.
rushing one that came out of nowhere.
Well, he's coming out of the woods.
You know he's coming out of the woods.
He's coming out of the woods. The haunted woods.
But yeah,
there, dude.
and then
3
my
for 22
disappointment.
and a touchdown.
My disappointment was, I mean, like you guys were saying, obviously Monday Night Football. Daniel Jones had that last drive. He had a
That
couple of
last
chances to make
drive.
one more drive for a touchdown that could have brought me back. But also, I've been
Zeke,
complaining
yeah.
more about Zeke Elliott. Like, I expect a touchdown.
Look at his projection, and look at like his percent to bust go down. So 12% less than 9 points. What do you get? Like 9.3.
Yep, he got 9 points.
Go to
So he didn't technically bust, but I mean he busted.
Tommy.
He-
Go
he
to.
busted.
If you guys want to bust this week, let's actually talk about the real bust. That's Jeffrey, who has the season low of 68.32. So upon this,
That was this.
so this
This
week
is-
Jeffrey posted up a 68.32. Go on.
This is the strongest on-screen destruction I have ever seen in fantasy football.
Well,
I was next to him, guys. I was sitting next to him all of Sunday.
and he got
And
brutalized.
it was interesting because he didn't really. We were there for I want to say I left at like 10 o'clock and I was there by 11, so I was there for a long time. And like he never really throughout the day like said anything about his team, and I wasn't really paying attention to it because I was so focused on me and Bruce because our matchup was so close. The entire time our matches
Entire time.
mattered.
The entire
Like me
time
and Bruce,
it's
there was
at
never
138.
one point where like either of us like were confident or confident in either way that it was going to go. We were projected the same the entire week, I should say.
I even texted
I was
Tom, I'm
so
like, this
yeah,
is
we were
gonna come
texting
down
the whole
to
time.
Danny Dimes on
It was.
Monday night.
He
And
called
it
that.
did.
He said that before the 12 o'clock games. It's going to come down to Darnold, and he was right. But I'm not paying attention. I'm with Jeff the whole time, and he doesn't say anything about his team. Like he's not complaining or saying he's having a bad week.
He's a happy
And
camper.
then during Sunday night football, like the final game.
Isn't sodomy illegal in Lamont?
Yeah, it is. But Jeff finally shows me his team. He pulls it up on the screen. And I was like, bro, you haven't been talking about this the whole day. What do you, like, I was like, 68 points. He's like, I know, it's so bad.
It's
I'm like, bro, that's terrible.
It's
I
terrible.
had no idea until Sunday Night Football.
It is terrible, boys, but it's not actually historical league worst. I did some deep dive, and you know me, I'm the league historian. So I did a little bit of deep dive, and I only went back 2 years, so I didn't actually go super far back. But I wanted.
James, before you tell us, who do you guys think it is?
Who do you think is the lowest league point score? And it was 2 years in a row. It was not just last year. It was the year before. And get this, they're part of the league. So who is it?
Steph and Kyle.
No, not Steph and Kyle. It's definitely someone else. I remember one time James talked about how much he was sucking on that year.
No, I'm going to go with Steph and Kyle just the way. Get this.
Take a shot in the dark. I'll go Shaman.
Steph and Kyle are back in the league. We forgot to mention that.
Yeah,
we forgot to welcome them back.
All right,
guys.
James, what is the answer?
The answer is Mighty Muffin Tops.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so it's a technicality. It's a tech as Tommy and Danny picked up when I said what I said. I'm
Yeah.
like, and they're part of the league because
I wouldn't
they
have
were
said that
not.
if you didn't say it.
You wouldn't have said that if
Exactly. I had to put that in there, but you guys picked up on the clue. Other people did not because they didn't know the context behind the clue. But Mighty Muffin Tops last year in 2020 posted in week 11 57.72 points.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think I remember that.
Your jaws,
I remember
your jaws
talking
drop
about
now. Your jaws drop now. Just wait till you hear this. 2019, the same exact week. Week 11.
Whoa.
The year prior, it's Mighty Muffin Tops with 28.9.
All right. Well, they're back in the league. So we need to all make sure we check in on them on week 11. Something's going on week 11.
Yeah, that's a good
We
call.
need to call them and be like, yo, what's going on? Everything's
Whoever-
fine? You got a flat tire?
I feel like in those weeks they like weren't fully setting their lineup. Jeff did fully set his lineup. Like Jeff started this with confidence this week.
Jeff, what are you saying? Like Jeff, like poisoned them on week 11?
Jeff 68 this week was started with confidence.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, you're right.
Looking
Yeah.
at his team, I mean,
They
it's
had- that's a
pretty
great
good
point.
lineup.
That's a great point. Dude. Like
And
they
Daniel
had
Sanders,
stuff
0.
going on.
I texted him about that today. I don't know what happened there.
What
Daniel
happened to
Sanders?
Sanders?
I don't know
what
what
happened
they
to
got
Cole
0.
Beasley
What do you mean you don't know what happened?
Everything went to Beasley.
I mean, I was happy about that.
How's that trade working out for you, Danny and Austin?
No,
Well, at least I'm
Well,
using
shouldn't have made
Harris.
it.
I'm using Harris, but unfortunately, Danny is not using. He's not using. Who did I give him again?
McKissick.
Yes, Kissick.
Motherfucker, I've
Every
used
time-
McKissick twice, and he's gotten a combined 8 points.
Yeah, he's not good.
But if he
either.
used them in the other 2 weeks, he would have had 40 or something.
Sure.
You've been bamboozled by the best.
Yeah, he was bamboozled by the best.
All right, do we want to get into our sit, start, cut?
Yes, let's get in our
Or,
sit
sorry,
start cuts.
Start, sit, cut, whatever
Can I-
order.
Can I go first?
Sure, Austin.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Well, for my week 8, my starter is definitely going to be Carter. Definitely what he did last week. He kicked some serious ass, and I would like to give him another go. His last game proved that how good the man truly is. He's popping now. In the beginning of the season, he wasn't popping at all. But now, he has a firecracker up his butt. That's really good. So he's hopping more than Hopkins.
Gotta say
So
props to Austin for picking him up.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
No,
you
I'm
like
gonna.
the Jets.
I would say I like the Jets.
That might be one of Danny's future discounts when he looks in the future.
Danny discounts. Let's do this. Let's do it. Now, for who I'm sitting is.
No, wait. We'll get into that. We'll get into that later. We go through everybody else's starts.
Yeah, you're right. Everyone goes for a start.
Danny.
Go ahead.
Danny.
Oh, my start? I got A.J. Brown because without Henry, Tennessee's going to have to air it out more.
Brains.
Oh, my God. All right, Danny, we didn't talk enough about this. A.J. Brown's also my start.
Oh, shoot. Well,
No, talk about it. That's great.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah,
Discuss.
My notes about him were.
Why do you believe in him? Where's Julio?
Well, no, mine was Danny already pointed out Derrick Henry's out. That's awesome. And then I just mentioned also that 3-week increase. He had 23 points and 26 points. And I think he's going to get targeted more. I'm with you, Danny.
Great minds think alike.
You know how it is.
Whoop! A.J. Brown. Bruce?
Bruce?
My start of the week. It's actually on James's team.
What?
I'm listening.
James?
What?
What's this Bruce voice?
Tua Tagovailoa.
What?
Yes.
C. Stafford against Houston last week.
No.
Carved them up. Tua's got to do the same.
Let's go.
You think so? Miami?
Tua
Dude,
Luraye.
They're favored by 7 points already. I mean,
On
that's
the
the
I think
Dolphins.
I was looking at Devontae
Parker?
Devontae Parker or Adams?
Parker.
Austin has him, I think.
I had him
Devontae
last
Parker? Yeah, I think I have him.
I think Austin's got a couple good snags on his team.
That's why I don't want to trade. I don't know why Tommy's giving me Jay Jacobs and C. Sutton for C. Lamb. Why would I give C. Lamb away? C. Lamb is one of my most reliable players.
No way. You got the stack with Dak.
Like, why would I give up? I have C. Lamb with Dak. Lamb and Dak. Who do you think I am?
He's got the Lamb and Dak.
Who do you think he is, Tommy?
Who do you think he is?
I'm going to call him Lamb and Dak now, but
Ooh, Salmon Dak. Now for my start of the week, it's going to be Mick Nichols. Might be shocking, but with Adrian Peterson coming aboard. But I got to say, Adrian Peterson has not been practicing with the Tennessee Titans for the last 7 weeks, or 8 weeks, rather. Guess who has? Mick Nichols. In fact, he's been practicing with him longer than that. In fact, he's a part of the game plan to the point where he's a part of the passing game. So if you are prioritizing which of these two backs to go after and you need immediate help, Mick Nichols is the clear answer. If you need help later, maybe it's Adrian Peterson, but I'm not so sure. I think Mick Nichols has a little juice, and he's going to come squirting out of that backfield from the Titans.
now, okay, with that said, Danny, didn't you have an opposing argument for like your sit or your cut or something?
Well, I just think that
Let's get right into sits. That was the final start.
Tennessee. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, no, I want to hear Danny. Danny was talking about
Well, I think
said.
that Tennessee is. Derrick Henry's a very special player, and I
Yeah.
just don't think they're going to be able to recreate him with another guy. So they're going to air it out more this week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see McNichols getting 10.
McNichols, I think he's going to get 10 touches at least. Now, he's going to get at least 5 touches in the passes, and he's going to get at least 7 rushes, maybe 10. He's a 200-pounder. He's already part of the passing game. I think you're going to like what you get in McNichols. I think Adrian Peterson, I mean, he's just going to be much more of a mystery. He's got to learn the playbook. Here's the other pro for Adrian Peterson, though. He's kind of a back that's in the make of a Derrick Henry. That's why they brought him in. He's that prototype. So...
Prototype. He's not making anything.
No, he's got the prototype of a Derrick Henry.
48 years old.
He's 30.
Bruce.
He's 36. Yeah.
Bruce, what do you think of Nichols or Adrian Peterson?
I mean, kind of what James said. Honestly, that's what I think. I mean, long term, maybe Adrian Peterson. I mean, yeah, he's flipping old. So I mean, I could really see them splitting.
Yeah.
In the future, I mean, I could really see. I don't know who they play this week, the Titans, but I know defenses, because especially with Julio dealing like a hamstring, I think it is.
Yeah.
And he's going to be maybe in and out, and then defenses are just going to double team A.J. Brown. So then you've got McNichols coming out of the backfield on probably second and third down. I could see Peterson having maybe first and second down, but then, yeah, once you get into those passing situations and that 2-minute drill, yeah, it's got to be all McNichols.
So does that mean, Bruce, you don't like A.J. Brown as a start? Me and Danny both had A.J. Brown.
No. I do like A.J. Brown. I'm just saying, like...
Tommy trying to stir the pot.
Ooh.
I'm making
it's good, though.
conversation.
It's good.
Stir the
Spirit
pot.
of Jack is with us.
Which is brew.
Discussion now. I don't know if someone can look up who they play real quick. The Titans. I don't know their matchup.
Derrick Henry,
But
Tennessee Titans.
I
Looking
mean,
it
I
up.
like AJ Brown this week too. I mean, especially if
Yeah.
Julio can
They
come
play the
back.
Rams. They play LA Rams, who just got Von Miller.
So
They
AJ
just
Brown is
released.
probably going to see Jalen Ramsey.
Yep,
Yeah.
What's so
Um,
special about Von Miller?
he's a great
Got a sick
linebacker.
name.
He's a great
well, that's the
linebacker.
Sunday. No, that's the Sunday night game. That's going to be an awesome game.
Oh, you're right.
That's
It
gonna be
is
a sick
Sunday
game.
night. Sunday night and Monday
gonna be a
nights
sick
always
game.
got the boost.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I like AJ Brown. Like, he's going to get his targets and he can pop one off for sure.
But you think that the backs are going to be split?
This week, I mean, I could see it being
Next 2-3 weeks, easy.
80. No, I think it's going to be like 80-20
Who and who?
McNichols.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I agree. I
Okay.
agree. I think it's gonna be.
That's probably going to be it for the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
you'll see Peterson slowly get those
Vulture.
first and second down.
And Peterson will vulture too, maybe on maybe goal line carries too.
Yep.
So
Do
we'll
you
see
guys
that.
start Julio?
Is he injured? I thought he
And
had.
starting him if he's healthy.
Absolutely.
But with a Sunday night game, that makes it real tough.
And you don't
Because
know if he's
You
healthy,
won't
right?
know. Won't know if he's limited in practice all week or he misses practice. Like, that's Sunday. I know I'm going against you, Danny. So I'm giving you advice. But hey, like that's what it's about. It's fantasy. I mean, it's cool to talk about.
Austin was in a similar
It's
position
real
last
tough.
week. He actually had to sit Kadarius Toney, who's on paper, awesome play, but he sat Kadarius Toney because he wasn't sure if he was playing Monday night. So he played Devontae Parker instead, and Parker had a game.
Yeah, the
Parker had a
game.
game. And
But wait,
I
that was
think
last
he-
week. That was last week. I want to hear what Bruce was saying. This is this week.
And,
Upcoming.
and like this week, I mean, fantasy obviously is about risk and reward, right? But it's also about mitigating that risk. So if you have those guys that are on Sunday or Monday night and they're coming into the game with an injury that could possibly, they're not fully healthy, like CMC, like with me, it's going to be real tough for me to play him until I see him on the field actually playing the normal way he does. Because otherwise, like, you could go into a game and be screwed. If he comes in the first quarter and Julio comes in and then he runs a route and aggravates that hamstring.
Are you
You're
going to
like,
start?
well-
Are you going to start CMC when he comes first game back, or are you going to start Chuba Hubbard?
I wouldn't start either.
Ooh.
And just being transparent, I mean that's what fantasy is.
No, we like hearing this advice. That's why we get.
Yeah, because when you have somebody that's injured, especially a running back or even a wide receiver, quarterbacks are a little bit different because you can usually tell with their track record. Like Matt Stafford usually plays through anything.
Right.
But then like running backs and wide receivers, I mean, they're obviously they run the most on the field, and if they have a soft tissue injury like a hamstring or a quad or even an ankle, I mean, for me, like, I have to see it first. I have to see you on the field doing what you're supposed to be doing and coming out of that game with no setbacks and going forward, especially with practice too. And then they will feel confident in putting you in that lineup. Until I see it, like, it's just it's too much risk.
I got a question. Whose sit was this? Was this Bruce's sit?
Not mine.
This was. I'm sorry. What were you saying? Oh, what did we start with? You
Yeah, I'm trying to recover where we were in the sits. We're doing sits now, right?
We were talking about Nichols and
Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson.
Wow, that was that conversation bled in all the way
Yeah.
there. Okay, so
Yeah,
'cause
that led that far.
and was it Danny's? Is Danny sitting McNichols?
Yeah, Danny was. Danny was
Oh, I'm
sitting.
saying I don't know if McNichols gets 10 points.
Oh, he
awesome.
does next week for sure. Easy.
I think we got into the
Okay.
sits.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we were getting into the sits, and I think.
yeah. Let's recover that.
No. That's what happened. Danny was talking about starting, and then we ended.
We ended on my McNichols start. and I said McNichols, but you said Danny had a counterpoint.
Yeah, exactly. And then we were like, and then you said, let's get right into the sits. But
All
we
right.
didn't yet.
But we didn't. All right, confusion.
Then we got into AJ Brown and stuff.
Woo! Whoop! All right, let's get into the sits, right?
All right, yeah, let's get into this.
Start with.
I'll start.
Boom.
I got Emmanuel Sanders.
You mean Emmanuel Blanders?
Oh.
Yeah. A standstill Sanders.
Are you happy with that call, Danny?
He's not on my team.
I know, but are you happy with him saying sit him?
Yeah. Do you like that, Danny? What
Do you?
think, Danny?
Well, I think.
Do you or what?
I think he's on Jeff's team, which
is on
means he's
Jeff's
cursed. The moment Jeff picks the guy up, he's done for. So, yeah, Emmanuel Sanders. He might score 1 point next week and then get injured.
Guys, he had 0 points last week. He's not getting the targets you would think. Beasley and Diggs obviously are better, but he's not my cut. That big fat 0 for Jeff, like I was talking about earlier, I was sitting right next to Jeff for his 68 points this week. Mm-hmm. He was about to be my cut, but I think he's just a sit for now because it is Buffalo and they're. But that's my sit. Anybody else wanna?
Austin.
I'll grab my sit.
Okay, go. I can take
Awesome.
a gander. For my sitting, it'll have to be Jamal Williams again. He didn't participate in the last game because of his injury, and now next time he's going to be for his buyout. And he won't be playing this week, because of his bye week. I already said that. Even if he wasn't, I just have way better talent to cover my runner backs. And the only reason why I still have him is because the rest of the competition is dancing with death.
New position, runner backs.
Runner back.
Lions backfield
But
is
Jamal
baffling.
Well,
Jamal-
hey, DeAndre Swift scores points.
Except last week.
Except for that one time.
But I can't get rid of him because, Jamal Williams is the best backup that I have.
Jay Willie's right there. Exactly. He's your fifth best, though. But that's a great thing for Austin. He's got 4 legit running backs.
Jay Billy.
Jay Willie's his 5th. Jamal
Danny,
Williams.
who's your sit? Danny, who's your sit?
Austin Eckler because he's on Bruce's team.
No way.
Hell yeah.
Maybe if he gets an injury.
Guys, I can't wait. I really can't wait to get through the start-sit cuts because I want to talk about this upcoming matchup against Danny and Bruce.
All right, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Well,
But I don't think Bruce realizes, we all want to bring you down.
We want it. He's leading the
I
league.
was so
I know.
close. I was so close.
I know you're so.
So we're
close,
gonna get into that.
I'll go real
But-
fast. My sit of the week
Go
is Darrell Williams of the Kansas City Chiefs. The reason they're playing the Green Bay Packers, I just think the Green Bay Packers are going to show up this week. The Kansas City Chiefs are looking for a game plan right now. Andy
in
Reid
trouble.
and Patrick Mahomes are in the lab and they're trying to figure out what the fuck do we do. We lost CEH. What do we do? They're putting together potassium and water and they're finding fuck. It's fire. And they're just like shit. All right. They're experimenting. So I'm not so sure about Darrell Williams this week, but if I was not so sure about Darrell Williams, maybe I'd pivot to James Conner this week.
It's funny that you mentioned James Conner. He's not my sit though, but I was kind of just looking around at teams and trying to figure out. Okay, well, when we say a sit, I mean you have possibly other players that you could play instead, right? So I'm looking at Shamans, and my sit is actually DJ Moore.
Ooh.
And I know it's a little out on the limb here. However, look who he's playing. In the Patriots.
He's
Ooh.
playing
What do
New
the Patriots
England.
do?
They take out your number one option.
Take
Destroy
away
Sam
your number
Darnold.
one option.
Always.
Look at last week, Mike Williams. Ranked. He had like 20 yards.
He had 3 points or something.
Just gonna take away DJ Moore. He's my sit. I would replace
5.
him.
That's a great
with
call.
James
That's a good
Conner.
call.
That is
James
a good
Conner
call.
goes against the 49ers.
Bruce, I'm going to start calling you for
49ers.
fantasy advice because, damn, you got some good reads.
49ers.
Yeah,
just-
Mike
they
Williams.
got blew up by Herbert. Look at him.
Mike
What did he
Williams,
get?
2.9. 2.9.
3 points.
Two receptions, 19 yards, 5 targets,
They take
2.9
away the main option.
That's what Bill
how they
Belichick
win.
does.
That's what he does.
point.
I sit.
Great call.
I'm like, how
Great sit,
are you
Bruce.
projecting him for 13 points against the Pats?
No
I
way.
mean, how is he going to get there?
Maybe 4.
He only gets there with a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's what you're hoping for.
Also, isn't there that
With-
thing where Belichick used to play Sam Darnold in college or something? Like, he knows how to make Sam Darnold weep.
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick did
What
not
I
play him in
say? I said
charge.
Bill Belichick?
And they played him against the Jets.
Yeah, he played against the Jets. That's what
And
it is.
Yeah.
He's got his number, that's for sure.
He has some crazy stats against rookie quarterback too.
Only a few have beaten him.
Only like 2 rookie quarterbacks have ever.
Who else's sits do we need?
We need Bruce's sit. No, we just did it.
I think we're
Cut
good.
time.
Austin, did we get your sit?
Awesome.
you got my sit.
Yeah, that's everybody.
He's got a guy on a bye week.
And we got yours too, Danny, right?
Yep.
Beauty.
All right.
Let me start.
Move
Cut
in.
Patrick Mahomes. I said it before.
What?
Shit. Get a real quarterback.
You called it.
Get a real quarterback.
Dude,
Get a
if he
real quarterback.
traded for somebody else, but still, Patrick Mahomes is like QB7 or QB6 on the year.
Worst quarterback in the league. I hate him.
I do want to say I do want to make something known. For the season, I think before the draft, Danny did call out. He was like, "There's no way Mahomes has as good of a year," and he also said this is the year that he gets injured.
And this is the year Josh Allen's better again.
Yeah, well,
See that
yeah.
stat about the Chiefs turning the ball over like
Oh, yeah.
a quarter
It's
of
ridiculous.
the time?
Yeah.
Like,
Patrick
what?
Mahomes after that interception last night, 2 nights ago, he now leads the league in turnovers. He's still like number 7 in the league because he has amazing amount of touchdowns and stuff and yards, but he leads the league in turnovers.
They've had a turnover
That's
almost every
figured
couple
it out.
series.
He's thrown an interception in like the last 6 games or something.
Chances aren't blitzing anymore. Just hanging back and not giving up the
Yep.
big play.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll lead off with my
They
cut.
figured it out.
I'll
They
lead off with
figured
my
it out.
cut right here, just because I feel like we already covered it. It was Adrian Peterson, and I feel like we really had the McNichols versus Peterson discussion earlier.
Yeah.
And we feel like, early on it's going to be McNichols, and later on maybe it'll be kind of a split 50-50 situation. But that's what I'm saying. Peterson's not an ad right now. He's still just a cut.
For my cut of the week, I think Rob Gronkowski should be cut.
What?
Why?
Why?
Wow.
Ooh.
I look at
Cut,
this.
not even traded.
Rob Gronkowski?
Cut Gronkowski.
Wrong?
One, he's a tight end that already sealed his fate.
Yep,
Second is
brains.
he's been hurt for so long, and on top of that, with his last game, because it's a back injury, I don't think he's going to come back soon.
Whoa, and
I
he's
think you're better off cutting him.
and he's had those
It's a
over his
muscle
career.
injury. It's a muscle.
Austin said back injury. Do you know
it's
something
a
we
back
don't?
it's a back muscle injury.
Austin's buddies
Not
with
like
Gronk
a
though.
spine.
He texts Gronk
They
regularly.
used to party in college. I remember that.
right down in St. Lou.
Yeah.
Gronk
Alright.
loves playing Smash.
Yeah, they're online buddies. They've never met in person. But my
He's
cut.
been talking to a guy that says his name is Rob Gronkowski.
Fuck Rob Gronkowski.
He just doesn't like him. All right. My cut is Henry Ruggs III because he's facing 20 years in prison.
Oh fuck.
He's gonna be gone for a while.
Yeah.
He's not.
I think that's a pretty good
You
cut.
gotta drop him now. I don't have him in this league. I believe
Yeah.
Uncle Jay does. If I'm not mistaken.
Shit.
No, I do, and I
Oh,
dropped
Danny
him.
does, and he dropped him. Oh, that's right. You were saying that earlier.
Fuck.
And then I already dropped him in my other calls. And I
We're on
didn't
the same page tonight,
Danny,
Tom.
Danny, I didn't pick anybody else up either. I just wanted it to be known that I dropped him.
Just
you don't condone his. Yeah.
get him
Yeah,
out.
I don't condone his behavior on this team.
Punt
I'm gonna
it.
drop Rug.
Whoop. Who's next?
What?
All right, my cut. Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys a question and see if you guys would cut this guy. Okay.
All right, bring him up.
So his average, just his average, 3 catches for 30 yards, 33 yards a game,
3 catches for 33.
I think I already know who this is.
and these people have more fantasy points than this guy. Laviska Chenault,
Ugh.
Marquez Callaway.
God. Oh God.
Oh, get ready for this one. Khalif Raymond.
Who?
Oh,
Khalif Raymond.
Allen Robinson.
Robinson.
That was my other cut.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Bruce,
No,
before you
even
came
with
on,
my
before you came
situation.
on, we were.
Tommy and I both were Tommy's like, no, I want him. I'm like, no, he's my
I want
cut.
him as my cut. Me and James were going back and forth as this is my
No,
cut.
he was like everybody's cut. I mean, I was trying to deal him for Odell, and I even cut Odell. I'm like, I'm done. Like,
Damn.
This is just ridiculous.
Maybe if you did
And
that
now,
week
like,
one.
No, right. And now Allen Robinson. I mean, I mean, he's got Pittsburgh coming up in his bye. The schedule gets a little bit easier after the bye, but still, I mean, I think it's Mooney over him rest of
Absolutely.
the season. I mean,
Agreed.
it looks like it. I mean, I don't know what's going on in Chicago, but
Chicago's in
not
trouble
A-Rob.
in general, but I agree. Like Mooney's taking off. But the other thing we need to mention is Allen Robinson's just like his demeanor during the
Giving
and
up on
when
plays.
When they show him, look at that. Austin forgot he's on camera. He's just taking his nose. Allen Robinson.
Oh, I don't think we caught it. It's Tommy. You don't have it on screen. We're seeing your screen, so we didn't see it.
No, I know, but you're recording this on Discord.
Oh, so we caught the audio.
You could have caught me picking my nose.
Oh
It was incredible.
no! Honestly,
I don't give a damn.
I got a Reese's Pieces for you.
I wish it was filmed. But Allen Robinson's demeanor, just in general, being in Chicago, you could tell that all he wants is to finish this contract year and get the hell out of that.
Get out.
Every
Yeah.
time they show him his face, like him shaking his head when they make a bad play call or a bad pass, like he's just like, I hate it here. You could just tell.
I wonder if he needs to have a talk with Nagy like Woods did with McVay. Just say,
Oh,
hey
yeah.
man, like, get
This
me
is-
the ball.
People are saying that about ODB now too. Did you see that on the news?
Yeah.
ODB's complaining. He's like, no one, they're not even throwing me the ball.
His dad posted.
Dad posted,
LeBron
yeah.
James. Yeah, his dad posted. LeBron James.
I watched the
LeBron
video.
James.
Actually, I watched the video of what Odell's dad, Odell Beckham Sr., posted, and he basically showed all these plays, like 12 minutes worth. And there's only, it's only like 5 seconds of football plays on a given play, 5 to 7 seconds, right? And he had like 12 minutes of footage of just like Odell being wide open,
He said,
and Baker
he
just
will
missing it.
shine again.
Yeah, and Baker just missing it or having no idea. Baker's just an awful quarterback.
Yeah. But yeah, people are saying that also. But Allen Robinson, that's a good cut. Me and James were going back and forth on our cut also.
Good cut.
Thing is, like, the thing about cuts, like, he was out on the wire, and you could just pick him up if you wanted to. You probably wouldn't even pick him up. I mean, what's the upside?
I know there
There have been a couple like Juju. Like seeing Juju on the wire and not picking him up is crazy.
And then he got injured.
That is true.
The worst.
No,
one
there's a
is-
bunch. He's right.
The worst
Yeah.
one is Robbie Anderson.
Wow.
Dude.
Droppy
he's always
Anderson?
Droppy
projected-
Anderson?
Hey, don't pick
He's
up Robbie.
always projected
Look,
at like 10 points.
OBJ's
I'm
on
like, how?
on waivers.
OBJ's on waivers?
Yeah, I dropped him.
Yeah.
Wow. It makes sense, though. Bakers can't bake a dozen.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, I have no confidence in going to start him.
Odell
when am I
Beckham.
going to have confidence starting him? I mean, it's someone else can deal with
Would
that
you?
problem.
I got a question for you. Odell Beckham or Corey Davis rest of season?
Really?
Corey Davis is, the wide receiver 1 for
I'm pretty sure they're ranked like
whoever the hell
3 or
is the
4
quarterback
spots.
for the Jets.
They're close. They're
White.
close. If you guys look at my
They are
screen, you
close.
can see.
Right.
Oh, they're not close.
Odell Beckham's clearly the better player, but they both got talent.
Davis is player ranked 37. OBJ's 78.
He's played more games,
No,
though.
I'm saying
Oh, I see what you're
like
saying.
rest of season rankings.
Yeah, rest of season rankings was my question. I think ODB.
Corey
I
Davis.
think there's no way I'm touching.
ODB with Casey Keenum. I'd rather have.
No, I don't. I'm not falling into this like his dad and LeBron James started talking about him, so he must be awesome. He's trash. He has 33 fantasy points this entire season.
Well, Danny's darling's right there too. Jarvis Landry.
Garbage. I
So
think,
you-
also.
Well, he's been playing hurt.
Pick who do you want? Do you want Odell or
Both
Jarvis?
of them are buddies. I think they just made millions and millions of dollars, and they're just like, oh, let's keep getting fucked up so we can go.
Pick one rest of the
Me
season,
and you were
everybody.
best friends, like,
Guys,
have a good life.
Both of Cleveland's number 1 receivers are out on the waiver wire. Everybody, pick your guy. Everybody, go. I'm saying.
Like Landry.
I'm saying. Oh, that's a good point. I'm going Beckham.
Landry.
I'm going Landry.
Landry gets more targets.
I think
Landry's
you're-
going to get 6 catches a game. It's just they're all going to be for
He
5
just
yards.
meshes so much more. Odell's the better talent. but
Beckham. There's two
Odd
things.
man
Beckham made one great catch with his like diving backwards swan like
Right.
snag, and then he dyed his hair blonde. Those are the only 2 cool things he's ever.
wow.
I think he's over it. I don't think another quarterback's gonna fix OD.
I think he comes to the Bears and he's going to be better than Allen Robinson.
Why?
Watch what happens next year when the Bears pick him up. Let's go. We got this on recording. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, guys. So let's start shutting it down. Have we gotten everybody's start sits and everybody's?
Yeah. Yeah, we
I
got it.
believe so. There was a couple of things that I wanted to mention.
Yeah, and I have one thing to mention, which was really what Bruce wanted to mention. So I'll get to that. Let's start with you, Tommy.
And I would like to mention one thing too.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go. Right forward.
All right.
I love you guys.
So I'm more so. I got one thing is directed at Bruce, and the other thing is just something hilarious that came out after this week for the Bears, and we're all Chicago
Absolutely.
Bears fans. So which one do you want first, Bruce or the Bears?
Can I start with this? Rest in peace to my dad. Cheers to
Oh,
Jim.
Of course.
Yeah.
Cheers to Uncle Jimmy G,
Absolutely.
everybody. We're just taking a moment.
Moment of silence.
Moment of
Yeah.
silence for Uncle Jimmy.
I thought you were gonna do that.
You should do that at the end, Jay.
Yeah, I know. It was on my mind, and I was like, let's
Okay.
just whip it out.
Well, now we're not talking about it, man. I think it should be more serious than that. You're
We'll
gonna
bring
have
it
to
back later. That was the
Yeah,
first
do that
initial
at the
reference.
end.
That was
Yeah,
the first
that was
initial
bad.
reference.
That was bad.
Exactly.
And then
No,
also
no
that
one, no
fucked
one
up-
to hold.
No one to hold. We're folding. All right, Tommy, go. Bears.
All right.
All right, Tommy, follow that.
All right, I got one Bears funny thing. So Nagy said on this is I'm gonna read it to you guys. I actually had it printed out because I thought it was so funny. Nagy said on this last week, the Bears. Nagy was out with COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says Nagy sat on the edge of his seat to watch special teams coordinator Chris Tabor lead the team. He could often tell what offensive plays Bill Lazor was going to run based on the down distance of formation. But sometimes he didn't know because of similar formations, and that was challenging to a man that used to be in control. I'm almost done. Nagy grabbed a notebook and he began jotting down play specific and his thoughts on how they unfolded. And the only thing that he said was, it was just really, really weird situation that I don't ever want to be in again. So like he has COVID, somebody else is calling plays, and the Bears actually look good, and it was to him it was just a weird situation he never wants to be in again.
They looked good offensively. Defensively, they had some quit.
I mean, kind of a weird situation when you're a head coach of the team and the team is looking better without you on the field.
Oh,
Exactly. So remember I had a Bears thing, and the other thing was I had a Bruce thing.
Yep.
My Bruce thing was, what's your opinion on the Bears? Because Matt Nagy's saying shit like this, like it was hard for him to sit and watch a team that he's in control of, and it was a weird situation, and that he doesn't want to be in again. Like, what the hell kind of statement is that? That statement was like yesterday, I think, last night or something.
How did they not fire him?
Yeah, I don't know what his contract is. I don't know how long he's signed until. But I mean, you asked for my opinion, so I mean, there is some upside. I think after the bye week. I mean, they've got a few games. I mean, they play the Cardinals. I think I saw, but I mean, there's a little bit of upside. But I mean, Nagy has to figure out what they just did in this last game and honestly try and replicate it. I mean, that's who Justin Fields is. He is that
RPOs.
Do you think Fields is the answer? We just got to get rid of coaching, or do you think we need work all around?
I think he's the answer.
Do you have all right? So
I
you
think
have
he's a
faith.
long-term
You have
answer.
faith. You have faith.
I have, because I mean, if you think about it, if you get a coach who, John Harbaugh, Lamar Jackson,
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
you get a coach like that that understands who the player is, and now they're even going back to, I heard it on a podcast or somewhere, they're kind of running it like the Louisville offense. They're taking deep shots downfield. They're allowing him, obviously, to rush, and he's been doing it for a few years now. But you gotta open that door for Justin Fields to do it, and you have to design things for him to do it. If you're wanting him to be that pocket passer that really he's not, like that because you saw it like early in the season, like he wasn't getting those designed runs, wasn't really getting outside the pocket and moving him around with play action and stuff. And I didn't watch like the whole game this past Sunday for the Bears, but it just looked like we're allowing him to run more, designing it.
Indeed.
I love that, Austin. What's your point?
Oh, are you talking about me right now?
Yes!
I'm sorry. Like, what's my point? I don't have a point. I just want to say one thing before we end this.
We got a
I
few
don't
more
have-
minutes, but go ahead.
Well, I would like to take notion of Calvin Ridley and his little current situation. Why he keeps leaving games through and point. It seems to be some sort of mental health problem, and he's just trying to take time away from this game to maybe get his thoughts around or get whatever help he needs to fix that issue with whatever is wrong with him. So, I just want to make this clear here. If he is that unreliable that one day he decide I want to play a game due to personal reasons, I can't rely on that. I really can't.
That's a
Didn't he
weird.
retire?
That's a good point. No, he didn't retire. He just
Oh,
said,
okay.
"Hey, I need to step away." But it's indefinite how long he's stepping away. Austin, he's also in a contract year. He's trying to get a contract for next year, seemingly. But is he?
Here's the thing: if he can just easily just walk out of a game randomly, even if he's not even injured, how can you rely on someone like that who can be inconsistent? Remember what?
How could
remember
you
what
as a
Bruce said.
team? Yeah.
Remember what Bruce said. The best way to beat this game is to minimize risk and get as much reward as possible through the minimization of danger. In this case, I can't rely on someone who could just walk out of the game just because he just wasn't feeling bad. Kudos to him that I agree with that. I agree that he should take care of his mental health if it's a personal issue. Please do that instead of getting hit by a 6-foot brick house of a person every 5 or so seconds. But that's what I guess if what you said, what's my point? That's my point. Inconsistency is a no-go.
Guys, hold on. While you guys were doing that, I just realized something that we did not acknowledge. There is a new last place team.
Oh, no way.
There's a new last team.
No, it's not me?
It's
No, that can't be true. You're looking at points 4.
Oh, okay. What should I be?
Well, maybe Jeffrey is.
Oh, he's right.
No, you still
No,
are.
Jeff's 12th.
You're
Jeff
still
is
correct.
now in last place.
Wow.
Jeff is
I'm
now
free.
in last place. James is free.
For the
James is
moment.
free of the Dick Trophy. I'm building a Dick Trophy. Whoever gets it, and I'm putting every last place name on it. And you
The
gotta
wooden spoon.
represent it in your house.
wait, you can share last place. That means you gotta make 2 dicks.
No,
or
last-
more dicks.
lowest points.
No, you cannot share last
There's
place.
no sharing.
There's lowest point scored, Austin, would be the...
Yep. There's
Who are
James
James and
is
Jeff?
no longer in last place.
So,
Who are
so
James
no-
and Jeff playing this week?
James is playing
It's a good question because I don't know.
for
Oh, Jack. Who I would
James is
argue
playing Jack and
I need to get
Jeff
a new
is
quarterback.
playing Elliott. Jeff is playing
both
Elliott.
winnable games. Jack's team, if you look at it, it's a straw man.
Yeah.
I presented many trades today for the trade deadline, and I've been declined.
I know. It's been a crazy day for the trades.
I offered up Diggs. I offered up Jacobs, running back for Vegas. I offered up a lot of big names. Nobody took.
Tommy,
Nobody
what do you
bid.
need?
I don't need anything. I think me and Bruce are kind of running the show at this point.
I think you, Bruce, and
Um,
Austin.
I took
Austin's
a-
got
I
a deep
took
team
a-
too, I think.
I took a loss to Bruce, which makes it look not as good. But I think if I easily could have won that game, and then I would have been in first because four. I think me
Tommy,
and Bruce are running the show. I think Good Squad is a team to be reckoned with. I think Big Old Titties was a team to be reckoned with, but Henry,
Dude,
big,
that Henry.
big
More than
blow.
Henry, half
Big
of his
blow.
guys are hurt.
Let's
Big
get into
blow,
this.
big
Who,
blow.
who do you guys think are the top three? I want to get into every. Tommy just said his top three.
I think
Bruce.
myself, Bruce, and Good Squad
Eddie.
are the top three.
Good Squad, Bruce, and Little Tommy, I agree as well. The reason why is because Teddy is in huge trouble with what he has currently. Look at that. Look
Yeah,
at
we
his
agree then.
lineup.
Me and us are on the same page.
I
Those are
think
my
you're
top
sleeping on Austin. I think we're sleeping on Austin's team. He's got
He would-
four
I just got-
legit running backs.
He would be my sleeper, James. but
Yeah, Austin would be
those
my
are my top
sleeper.
three.
I like your top
Well, I
three,
think-
and I'll lodge Austin in as a sleeper pick because I like his four running backs.
I think this week is the beginning of Bruce's decline when I clobber him. When Judge
Oh, yeah, we
Jones-
forgot to talk about Danky Punch versus Bruce. We forgot to bring up this match.
Well, we
Well,
got
first
here.
off,
What?
It's Jack!
Danny doesn't have a running back.
I don't have a running back this week. I need to pick one up
You
because two of my
need
guys
to.
are on buys.
Paying up
Oh.
for McNichol.
Do you got any fab left?
I tried to trade you.
Hey,
Did you?
guys.
I didn't
No,
even
I
see it.
guys,
What
didn't.
did you
No, I
trade?
didn't.
Look,
No, I
guys.
didn't. But I'll
Yeah,
take
no,
a
you
peek.
didn't. Shut up.
No, I
Austin's
didn't.
screaming.
I'll take a peek. I'll take.
It's Jack.
But it's gonna cost.
Jack?
Jack's here.
Yeah.
Look.
Welcome, new father.
Jack.
Because I'm back.
Ooh.
No, that,
Yo.
hey, now that we have Jack here, he should do a cut stand in bench.
No, it's
No.
It has been too
I'm just
long.
listening.
It's already too long. We're already at an hour.
I love
We're
it.
already at an hour
Stand
here,
and
boys.
bench.
But Jack, give us your one play of the week.
Jack, what do you have to say for the week? Wrap it up in
I don't
30
know.
seconds.
If I had to go with a play, it would definitely not be Mahomes. He looks so trash.
Let's go.
All right, my start of the week is Reese,
You-
Jack's new daughter. Congratulations, brother.
Yeah.
I do have a discussion to close it. Congrats to the new father, Jack, here. I do have a discussion to close it because Bruce brought this up to me earlier. I thought it was an interesting discussion. One thing we like to have in our league is we like to be able to have variety on our teams and flexibility on our teams that, every team's a little bit different. We got Austin's team who's throwing out four running backs. We got Danny's team who decided to draft top two quarterbacks. We just got different arrays of team builds. We got Teddy who decided to draft no quarterbacks. Like, it's just different types of team builds. But meanwhile, Bruce was out here suggesting to me, hey, have you guys thought about maybe killing the RB2 position and turning it into a flex spot? I said, we have thought about it. We've played with it in the past where we had just one running back, one wide receiver, and we had like a whole bunch of flex spots. And it made for a lot of teams that just mostly played wide receivers. So hence we brought in the RB2. But what do you guys think about that? Bruce was thinking, hey, switch the RB2 spot to a flex spot.
Eh.
What if it was an RB tight end only?
Whoa! Not wide receiver?
No, because then tight end would be like as important as a.
Oh my
No,
God!
no. Running back or DST?
No, I think Jack's right.
Wait, can we do that?
I
You get a
think-
second. You get a second
That'll be
defense
so
if you
sick.
want.
I like the Jack's tight end play.
Defense,
You know,
huh?
Jack, for someone who talks big about tight ends, you don't play a lot.
Me?
Because you started with 4 tight ends at the beginning of the season, and
That's true. Gronk got injured though, so that was like bad pick. If I had like Mark Andrews, Kelsey Kittle, I would, and they were good too. I would play them every week. I think they're.
I would not.
I think I don't know.
Brains.
I think if you get rid of that RB2 spot, it's basically like the majority of your positions are just like free.
Say it again.
I like
I didn't catch that.
I like the idea of it, but if you make that, get rid of that and make it a flex, it's kind of just like you got an OP, a flex, and then a wide receiver, tight end, wide receiver, tight end,
Because basically,
Like, it's kinda-
you're
it's just
playing
like a free-for-all
a ton of
league,
wide
which
receivers.
is cool.
I think it should be a Everyone gets 8 OP/DST spots.
Oh my God!
You can play every defense.
That sounds like a
Just play 8 defenses.
that
Or
sounds
8
like a
quarterbacks.
chaotic game, if you ask me.
I think that taking away the second RB spot would actually make drafting, like, it would magnify the importance of the drafting, because, especially for RB, because if you have, like, a Dalvin Cook or a Derrick Henry that just plays all season, then you can just, like, gamble on the craziest wide receivers and, like, still, you could, like, if you're RB.
But that makes
Kinda
it. But there's
what-
only 5 of them.
Kind of what Teddy was doing.
There's only
what
5
Teddy was
good
doing
running
was, like-
backs, though.
I actually feel like Okay, fair point. There's only 5 good running backs. I think it also depends on the season. Like, is this a wide receiver season or is this a running back season?
It's a
It
wide
really
receiver
depends
season.
on
It's
running
every
back-
season from now on is a wide receiver season.
I think so.
Wide receiver.
It's a throwing league.
That's Therefore, I kind of agree. 1 running back slot.
Bruce?
I mean, it's just a discussion. I mean, I just wanted to throw it out there to see what everybody thought. Really, it was just something that I heard. I was like, I mean, obviously there are a ton of injuries, and now, really, if you think about it, who is that top 3 tier running backs? Like, who do you really want? Like, there have been obviously so many injuries at that position, but then again, if you only have that one RB spot, then you're opening it up to.
Wow, you'll have 2-3 options, right?
Because how much running
Yeah.
back?
But I do think that part of the fun of it is picking up a backup for your RB2. Or like when someone puts money on D'Ernest Johnson.
Yeah,
like,
that
that's a
is.
really good week. I
RBs,
do
it's
like
hard
that.
and it's fun, and you can gamble on more people, which I like.
That is true. I think by playing the extra RB, it just makes it holds everybody more accountable in that way, because you're playing 1 running back. I have Derrick Henry. I could play him all year until this week, and then I could spend all my fab and just go get McNichols or AP, whatever. I don't know. It's just like
That was actually my argument for the original OP or making the other wide receiver spot also a tight end. I thought I didn't like. Remember, I was complaining I didn't like getting rid of the tight end because I was like.
Getting rid of the what?
Different. It makes you draft.
Oh, getting rid of tight end. Yeah, Tommy, you're cutting out a little bit, so I couldn't understand at first. So cutting out of the tight end, you're saying, caused a little difficulty in drafting, and that was another suggestion we talked about. Do we bring back in a tight end, but then running back tight end as your RB? What if we changed that RB2 to running back tight end? That's crazy.
The other one is
It's not worth it.
really
It's just I just don't think it's worth it. You're not going to play a tight end. There's not good enough tight ends to even make that position.
I agree with Tommy here.
Like there's not like I would rather pick up a garbage running back than a garbage tight
All
end.
right, guys, this is not good. This is not good podcast.
Danny's calling can on it. I liked it. I
It's
liked
not
it.
good. I agree.
I liked it.
Yeah,
It was good discussion. I liked it.
Yeah, I think we're like running our course. I think we should end this here, boys, before someone makes another point.
All right. We'll start shutting it down. All right, boys and
We'll
girls.
end with the week 9. We got me and Uncle Jay matchup. Danny versus Bruce. Teddy versus the Shaman. Steph and Kyle versus Austin. Jack versus James. Elliot versus Jack. Coming up.
Woo!
Whoop whoop!
Whoop! What a podcast here, boys. Thanks for joining us, Bruce. Thanks for joining us, Austin. Thanks for joining us, Take 5 and Tommy.
Let's go.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and thank you all the 18 viewers that watch us.
Great
We
shouts.
have 18.
Touch your butts now.
Whoop!
Take care, everyone.
Smash that like button. Subscribe. We'll catch you guys later. This is James signing out here from Throwing Ropes. Thanks, guys. Let's go into week 9. Whoop! Give me grace. Whoop! 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 Whoop!
Whoop whoop!
The Chicago Bears?